Today on Fatty's Feast, we're going to be figuring out if an offset smoker can not only replace, but be better than a traditional backyard grill. Let's get started. Welcome in everyone, hope you're all doing splendid. Thanks so much for being here today. As I stated, we're doing a little bit of an experiment today. Now, in my last video, I showcased a bunch of products from a company called Grillaholics. They make backyard grilling products, mats, seasonings, tools for all of you grilling fanatics out there. Most of you that watch this channel probably fall into that category. But my problem was I don't have a traditional grill. I have my Old Country Brazos smoker and I have my Blackstone griddle. So because of that, in order to actually properly demo their products, I had to use my Old Country Brazos smoker, which is a traditional stick burning offset smoker, and see if I could get the same results that a backyard grill would produce. Now in that video, I made some delicious stuffed cheddar, bacon, jalapeno burgers. If you haven't checked it out, you're gonna want to. It's a recipe you don't wanna miss. And I did say, took a lot more work to actually make burgers on the smoker when I could just throw them on my Blackstone griddle. But the flavors I got after eating those burgers, it got me thinking, can I actually get better results using a stick burning offset smoker than I would with a traditional grill? Now we've all eaten on a traditional grill. We all know how the food tastes. So what happens when we use our smoker sort of the same way? So to conduct this experiment, I pulled out a bunch of different meats that I had in my freezer that you would traditionally cook on a typical backyard grill. So to prep this meat, we're just gonna put a little bit of vegetable oil on everything. And starting off in this corner, we have some 6-ounce pork chops. We're going to be using Meathead's Memphis style rub. This is a homemade rub. I'll put a link for it in the description. You can make it yourself at home. It's a brown sugar, paprika-ish, peppery rub. Great for pork. Over here, we have 2 6-ounce sirloin steaks. We're going to season these with some Grillaholics salt, pepper, garlic, and butter seasoning. In the back here, we have 5 Premio, I think that's how you say it, sausages. In this container here, we have 12 Kirkland brand hot dogs. Both the hot dogs and the sausage we will season with just granulated garlic and coarse ground black pepper. There's already enough salt in these pieces, so we don't need to add more. And lastly, we have some frozen burger patties. We have 2 steak burger patties, each 4 ounces, and 2 4-ounce sirloin patties. And we're gonna season those when they're ready to be put on the smoker. And obviously the reason we're doing frozen burger patties instead of fresh burger patties is because we just did fresh burger patties in the last video, and it was delicious. So the smoker's up to temp. Let's get these pieces of meat out there and get started. All right, we're out at the smoker. Let's take a look. So I have all my grill grates in place, plus I have my top grate in as well, which I normally don't do. This probe is reading cooler than this one as per normal. I'm gonna start by putting the pork chops on in the cooler spot. And right next to that, the steaks. We're gonna put the sausages a little bit closer to the hot spot. And then on the top rack, we're gonna put our hot dogs. Once again, as far away from the fire as possible. And if these cook faster, we can always rotate them around. All right, let's close her up. The reason I'm putting everything farther away at the moment is because I want it to absorb some smoke flavor for a while, and then I'll put them in the hot spot when we get a little bit closer, and we'll get a nice sear on them, hopefully. Right now, my temps are running about 250 on the cool end, so we'll give it a little bit of time. The frozen burger patties we can throw on last because I just want to get a good sear on them. I don't really necessarily want them to absorb a lot of smoke flavor. So when we take the other meats off and they're resting, we should have just enough time to cook the frozen burger patties. Now, 2 things I forgot to mention in the seasoning process. I did add extra pepper to the steaks because that Grillaholics seasoning with the butter, the garlic, the salt, pepper, it lacks pepper, in my opinion. I'm a psycho with pepper, so it's probably fine for normal people. But for me, I like the extra pepper to absorb that smoke flavor. And the other thing to mention is with the pork chops, I had to add salt because the Memphis Meathead's rub does not have salt. I'll put that in the description, next to the link, so you remember that. I'll give these about a half hour or so. The smell already is so good. Not the smell you would get with a typical backyard grill. The seasonings and the odors, oh my God, so good. But I'll keep an eye on them. If I have to rotate some stuff, I will, and then we'll come back and move them to the hot spot. And a half hour later, this is what we got. So let's see what we're looking at here. These sausages are coming along very nicely. They're nice and juicy. I'm gonna move these to this spot right here because they've been closest to the heat. This one's oozing, look at that. Oh, you can already hear the sizzle. Let's look at our steaks. Nice color, they're very firm, or I shouldn't say firm, they're very tender. So we'll put these closest to the fire. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna flip it. There we go. Last but not least, our pork has the best color, I think. It's looking nice. Also nice and tender. We'll flip these. A little bit of sticking, not too bad. Look at these hot dogs, people. I mean, I like charring on my hot dogs, so that looks really good. These are definitely done. I'm just going to keep them on there because why not? And I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to throw these burger patties on back here. Just going to let them thaw out a little bit, get some smoke flavor on them, even though it probably won't do too much. I'm also going to bring some of these hot dogs down. Let's move these bad boys down here. And then we'll move these right here. A little bit of the seasoning's coming off, but it's not too bad. I don't really want to get a sear on the hot dogs. They look fine as they are. And we'll close her back up. Now in the hot spot, the temps are running probably like 50 degrees more or so, especially the closer you get to the firebox. So this is probably like a 75-degree difference right here. So we should get a nice sear, or at least, you know, a nice crisp or something. I don't know. We'll see how it works. The grill mats aren't the issue. The mesh grill mats are great. So I just want to see if the smoker can get up to temp high enough to make that sear. So let's put some more wood on the fire and try to bump these temps up. Fire's running nice and clean today. And I am using oak wood for this. Very important you cover your wood so in the wintertime it doesn't get all wet and all that grossness and get mold, and you don't want wet wood on a smoker. That right there should do the trick. Let's wait 20 or so minutes. We'll check back in, probably take the meat on this side off, and then we'll deal with the burgers. And grand reveal. Whew. This looks good. All right, so all this is definitely done. We've had high temps. Just gonna put that on here. Good color all around for the most part. I did flip them halfway through. Here's the steak. Not so much great color on that side, but the sizzle is out of this world. Sounds really good. Sausages have excellent color. And the hot dogs, I mean, whew. These look amazing. Seasoning's a little washed, but that's okay. There we go. Put this off to the side. Now let's take our burger patties over here. And we'll throw them closest to the fire. I just put some new wood on, so those temps should bump up. And on this, I'm just going to use the Grillaholics salt, pepper, garlic plain seasoning. Once again, it looks like mostly garlic and salt. If you're not a big pepper fan, this is probably the seasoning for you. We'll close that down. So I'm going to take this smorgasbord of meat inside, and I'm going to put it in my warming trays because I actually have a friend coming over for dinner, and I want these to stay warm but not keep cooking. I did probe the inside of these. They were about 130-ish. Well, I shouldn't say that. The steaks were about 130-ish, and then the pork was about 150. So carryover cooking in the warming trays, they should be fine. They're going to be good. I'll film out here one more time when we take the burgers off, and then we'll go do our taste test. All right, burger time. These look really good. Look at that. Nice color on them. No sear, but that's okay. A little hard to pick up with a spatula. I don't remember which is which. Doesn't matter. They all taste the same in my opinion. So since I have a little bit of time, I just wanted to share some thoughts before we go inside and do our taste test. Did this take more time than just doing it on my griddle or doing it on a typical backyard grill? Yes, because you have to light the fire. You have to, add some smoke flavor. You don't have to do that, but you got to get the fire hot enough. You got to tend to it, burn a clean fire. It takes a little bit of time, but I'm really hoping the end result is worth the 2 hours I put into this. And 2 hours of my time really isn't that much because I can sit out here and drink some beers. Where's my beer? I can drink some Busch Lights. Why not? I'm really thinking I'm still going to have no regrets about not having a typical gas grill. And remember, in this video, I did use Grillaholics products. I got my tongs, I got my spatula, I got the mesh grill mats, which I think work the best out of all of their grill mats, especially for using them on a smoker. And I used their seasoning, which they're going to release more as time goes on. So if you're interested in any of their products, if you haven't checked out their website, you got to do that, especially if you're a grillaholic like me. I'll put a link in the description and in the comments, and be sure to use FATTYS20, FATTYS 20 at checkout to get 20% off your purchase and by supporting this channel. That little money they give me helps tremendously. Let's do our taste test. All right, we're back in the house. I got my company over. He doesn't want to be on camera because he sucks. But let's take a look at what we're working with. This is my tray of everything besides the burgers. This has been in the warming tray at about 140. So we're going to cut into these each individually, and the burgers are over there too. We're going to cut into these each individually and try them without any condiments, without any buns or anything like that, because I want to know what they taste like each without conflicting the flavor or anything like that. All right, let's do the burger first because this is probably the most unimpressive of them all, I think, maybe. I don't know. All right. Nice. Wow. Yeah, there's a smoke ring on that. Nice pink flavor. Pink flavor, yeah. Nice pink ring on the edges. Looks pretty good. There's a little bit of moisture, but not as moist because it's a frozen burger. I'm just going to cut a little bit off, put it off to the side. Next, we have our hot dog. Still a lot of moisture in that. Looks pretty good. Our sausage. Oh, yeah. Looks very moist inside. I don't know if you can see it. But a lot of moisture on the outside as well. Seasoning is coming off a little bit on both the hot dog and the sausage. That's okay. Our pork chop, I'm just going to cut into in the middle. It's a little bit drier than I'd like. There's still a little bit of moisture inside. Seasoning stuck to this one a lot better, so I'll cut off that slice. And then our steak. Our steak doesn't have a lot of color or like sear on either side like the pork chop did, but it looks very good. Cut down the center. So this is interesting. There's a smoke ring along the edge, but it's definitely to a medium, and it's been in the warming trays for a while now. So I'm very curious what this will taste like because it's not a medium rare. It's definitely like a well. Which is a little more than I like. I like medium, but we'll see how it is. And I'll cut this off. Nice thin strip right here. All right, first the burger. I don't know which burger this is between the sirloin and the whatever other one I have. I have no clue. They both taste the same. A little dry because frozen burgers are dry all the time, I think, but not bad. Is it worth firing up the smoker for this? I think I've made better burgers on my Blackstone griddle. So I probably wouldn't fire up the smoker for frozen burgers. Stuffed burgers, on the other hand, yes, I would. But frozen, nah, I'll just throw them on the Blackstone griddle for now. The hot dog. That has a lot of smoke flavor, actually. And those were on the top rack, remember. I'm actually surprised at the smoke flavor in that. Would I put those on my smoker again? Absolutely. Yep. I think those actually taste much better than on the Blackstone. However, I will say that you don't have that char, which I sort of look for, but that's not bad at all. Next, we have our sausage. This is going to be good. Yeah, no, I'm putting those on the smoker. Now, a lot of times when I'm cooking a brisket or something that's going to take a long time, I have a pack of sausage I'll throw on for lunch because it's an all-day process because they take no time at all. They take 60 to 90 minutes, 6 to 9, get it? Nice. But there's something about that smoke flavor on sausage that just brings it through. And I don't think there's a better way to cook sausage than putting it on the smoker. That's my opinion. They're so good. It's actually very moist. Even though you didn't see it on camera, it tastes very good. Pork chop. Don't get a lot of smoke flavor on that, mainly because of that rub I used. That Memphis Meatheads, whatever it is it's very good. It's very sweet, but it sort of doesn't allow the smoke flavor to penetrate very well. So I like it. Either way, I'm sort of indifferent about this one because it's not dry for sure. It's moist. It's not as moist as when I've cooked it on the Blackstone griddle, but I think either way I could do it. Maybe if I were already cooking something on the smoker, I would throw pork chops on there because I'm not a big pork chop fan. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I would do it again for sure. Also, keep in mind, I'm going to put a smoked pork loin video up at some point. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'll put a link when I do that. It's probably going to be in the next few months or so. And then we have our steak. This thing looks really good. Oh. Even though it's not cooked medium, that is really good. Once again, don't get a lot of smoke flavor, but something about that's really, really good. If that weren't a frozen piece of meat that I thought and it was a fresh steak, maybe like a ribeye or something, because the sirloins don't have a lot of fat on them, that could be a game changer. I don't know. I want to do a tomahawk steak sometime. I'll put a link for that when I finally do that. But that's pretty good. And I wouldn't even know that's not a medium steak. That's like just, I want to look at the smoke ring again. Because maybe the pink transfers to the outside. I don't know. Because there's a lot of moisture in that still. That doesn't make any sense, but it's a theory I have. I don't know. So all in all, I think this was pretty pleasing. I think I can use my smoker as a grill, and I think you can too if you don't want to buy a traditional grill, because I've never tasted anything from what I made on a traditional grill that tastes better than what I just did here. On the Blackstone griddle, depends on what you're looking for, I think. You know, if you're looking for convenience, if you're looking for maybe just, quick something or other. Burgers, I love doing on the Blackstone griddle. Stuffed burgers, like I said, I'd rather do on the smoker. But can we not? Any types of meat that you want to try smoking, I mean, I would highly recommend it. It's just the process of lighting the fire and sitting there and watching it. It only took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Wasn't that big of a deal. I got to drink beer, but I would do that again. So thank you all for checking in and watching this episode of Fatty's Feast. If you like what you saw, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video. Leave a comment and interact with us. I want to hear some ideas for the next video, if you have any, because I'm always looking for ideas, because I'm not a creative person. Until next time, stay safe, I can't even talk. Hold on. Jameson and Coke Zero. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, stay tubby.